Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we've got a really exciting one for you. We're going to be covering a brand new penny stock to the channel. The company's involved in the mining sector or industry. They're really focused on the acquisition and development of various different gold assets in the Americas. Now the company name is extremely fitting. It's called GoldMining Inc. And again, I think this one offers great exposure to the precious metal space if you're looking to get that in your portfolio. Now with that being said, before we get into the video, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a huge help to both myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And let me know in the comment section below if you've heard of GoldMining Incorporated, if you're currently holding shares, and how you think they stack up to some of the other competitors in this space. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at GoldMining Incorporated, trades under the ticker symbol GLDG on the New York Stock Exchange. It also trades here in Canada on the TSX under the ticker symbol GOLD, GOLD. You can see this is as of close Thursday night. Pretty weak day for them. They were down 14 cents per share, 8.2% on the day to close out at $1.57. And based on that close, you can see a market cap here of about $235 million. Now this is in US funds. That does fluctuate around a little bit based on the close price. And if we pull up a 6-month chart on GoldMining Incorporated, you can see they've been trading relatively flat. So if we go all the way back to the middle of July of 2021, you can see they were in that $1.40 range. And if we pull up a 1-year chart, back 12 months from now, middle of January 2021, they were trading closer to the $2 price point. So you are getting it at a discount compared to the historical or 52-week high. However, with that being said, in the middle of December here, we did hit a low at $1.05, and they have had a very nice rally, up nearly 50% in the last month alone. So with that being said, there's really two key reasons why I'm so excited about GoldMining Inc. or bullish on this company. So as you can see on the company landing page here, GoldMining Inc. is really focused on acquiring and advancing various different gold projects around the Americas. And we're actually going to take a look at some of these various assets later in today's presentation when we move into the investor deck. Now with that being said, in terms of video format here, we're going to talk about some of the recent articles and news in relation to GoldMining Inc. We're also going to take a look at a couple analyst reports and price targets on this company, which really has to do with my second point around valuation. Then we're going to jump into the investor presentation and take a deep dive into the numbers behind GoldMining Inc. and really build out my bullish thesis for this company. Now in terms of my top two reasons why I like GoldMining Incorporated, number one really has to be the leadership team here. The company was founded by Amir Adnani, and if you look at his track record and some of the various different companies that Amir Adnani has been involved with and founded, such as Uranium Energy, Uranium Royalty Corp, which we're going to talk about in a little bit more detail in a couple of minutes here, it really is easy to see why he brings such valuable experience to this team and why he's such an asset to the leadership group at GoldMining Incorporated. And on that note, if we jump over to the team or the management team at GoldMining Inc., you can see Amir Adnani, chairman and founder of the company, and also serves as the president and CEO of Uranium Energy Corporation, which he also founded, and serves as chairman of Uranium Royalty Corporation. So again, a ton of experience in this type of industry or field, very well connected with the investment group and the major players in this sector, and again brings a wealth of practical knowledge to the team here based on his long-running involvement with this industry. And that's exactly what you can see here. Amir is frequently invited to speak at prominent industry gatherings and is often interviewed by major business media outlets, which we're going to look at one of these interviews next up in the presentation, which include the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, CNBC, Fox Business News. Some of the biggest media outlets in the world are very familiar with Amir In addition to that, Amir's been selected as one of mining's future leaders. He was selected by Fortune magazine to be the top 40 under 40, and he was actually a finalist in Ernst & Young's Entrepreneur of the Year Distinction Award. In addition to all of those accolades, he also holds a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of British Columbia, so that's actually the university that I attended as well, and Director of Universities Alumni Association. So a ton of practical experience, a great education behind him, and again, those connections in the industry that are really invaluable to companies like this. Now, backing up Amir and serving as the CEO of GoldMining Incorporated is Alistair Still. Similar to Amir, Alistair has a ton of experience, so 25 years experience working for major gold mining companies such as Newmont, Goldcorp, Kinross. He's worked in Canada and internationally, and again, very strong track record in terms of practical experience and knowledge and the educational background to back that up or complement those practical skills. And as we mentioned on the previous slide, Amir Adnani has been interviewed and featured on a number of major news publications and articles. This is an interview that I found on YouTube talking about GoldMining Inc's secret weapon in terms of their uranium deposit, which we're going to talk about later in today's presentation. During this interview, Amir also discusses in depth the acquisition strategy behind GoldMining Incorporated and how they were able to get so many of their assets at such deep discounts compared to traditional or historical prices. So I would definitely encourage you, if you're looking to invest in GoldMining Incorporated or you're currently holding shares, look up Amir, watch some of his interviews, and look at some of the other companies this guy's been involved with, because he really does have an extremely impressive track record. Now, with that being said, we talked about the fact that Amir also founded Uranium Energy Corporation, and I wanted to jump over to this website for a second and really talk about some of the historical returns that we've seen with this company specifically. So if we look at periods in time when uranium or the underlying asset was in a bull market, back in March of 2020, spanning till about November of 2021, there was a uranium bull market going on. And if you actually look at the returns of Uranium Energy Corporation and Uranium Royalty Corporation compared to the returns of the actual asset, you'll see that these companies actually had returns in the range of 800 to 1,000%. So dramatically outperformed the market. And that's the exact same thing we're seeing here with GoldMining Incorporated. So looking back over the last 10 years in terms of periods of strength for gold or the underlying commodity, if you were actually holding shares of GoldMining Incorporated versus spot gold, you would have seen returns in excess of 5 to 30 times your actual investment. And that's really the power of owning some of these companies, especially companies like GoldMining Incorporated that are led by an experienced team of industry professionals, because they know how to acquire assets below fair market value. And when the underlying commodity, whether it's uranium or gold, actually goes through a period of strength or a bull market, you really see those assets come to life. And that's where and why you see those exaggerated returns compared to the underlying asset or even competitors in these various sectors. So I thought that was important to throw in. We've talked about a number of times on the channel, when you're investing in penny stocks, you really are investing in the people and the leadership team behind these companies. So I thought it was important to really show and demonstrate Amir's track record, in addition to the rest of the leadership team that he's assembled at GoldMining Incorporated. So now that we've talked about the team, we've talked about some of the recent media attention, I did want to jump into some of the numbers behind the company. So this is really going to be a focal point of the channel in 2022. So GoldMining Incorporated, at a glance here, you can see 4 different categories. We'll start with share structure. So overall, on a fully diluted basis, they've got about 160 million shares. Now the numbers shown here in terms of market cap have changed slightly. So the market cap shown here is as of the end of November 2021. But if you multiply out the shares times the current share price, you're getting a market cap on GoldMining Inc. in the neighborhood of about $235 million Canadian. Now, under the financial section here, there's one thing I really wanted to call your attention to, and it's actually this line that's highlighted here, which is labeled Gold Royalty Corporation shares. So this is the royalty counterpart of GoldMining Incorporated. So very similar to how Amir founded Uranium Energy and Uranium Royalty Corporation, and GoldMining Incorporated actually owns about 15% of that company, which is valued at about $122 million in terms of equity. That company trades under the ticker symbol GROY, G-R-O-Y, meaning if you actually strip out that investment or equity that GoldMining Incorporated holds in GROY, you're getting the company for around $112 million Canadian. And we're going to expand on those numbers in a second here, but that's really important to understand in this presentation is a lot of the market cap is actually accounted for in terms of equity in the royalty corporation. Now there's some major institutional investors in this company, so key shareholders here include the likes of KCR Fund, Ruffer Gold, Sprout Global, and BlackRock Incorporated. In addition to that, Rick Rule and Doug Casey are also big investors in this company. So again, very notable people and institutions that are backing GoldMining Incorporated. And in terms of the recent analyst coverage, a number of analysts cover this company. We're actually going to take a look at two of the reports in a second here, but extremely bullish price targets and very bullish sentiment on the company overall. And with that being said, I wanted to take a look at two of these analyst reports. So this one is from H.C. Wainwright & Co. It's a buy rating. This is from August 30th of 2021. So last summer, they've actually got a price target on this company of $6 US. So extremely undervalued compared to their price target. And as you can see, one of the first things called out in this research report is actually GoldMining Incorporated's involvement or ownership in Gold Royalty Corporation or GROY, which we just talked about. And as you scroll down through the article, you can see here they're actually reiterating their buy rating on GoldMining Incorporated. They've raised their price target to $6 from previous estimate of $5.75, so they're actually getting more bullish on this company moving forward. These type of research reports, you guys, are very interesting to go through, especially if you're looking at acquiring shares in a company. So I'd highly recommend you look these up and take a read. Again, if you're currently holding shares or looking to make an investment in GoldMining Incorporated. Now the second analyst report is actually from Haywood Capital. Again, they've got a buy rating on GoldMining Incorporated. They've got a price target on this one of $4.25. So again, very bullish sentiment towards the company here, you guys. A ton of information, and if you go into some of the top bullet points, you can see they've reiterated their buy rating, maintaining a price target of $4.25. So they're talking about the TSX listing here, which trades under the ticker symbol GOLD or GOLD, that's currently trading at a significant discount to its peers, and go on to say they're currently trading at an enterprise value to ounces of gold at a multiple of $7.81 US versus their peers, which are trading at an average of about $42 US per ounce of gold. So a significant discount, which means significant upside as a potential investment in GoldMining Incorporated. And with that being said, you can see those analysts here under Haywood Capital and H.C. Wainwright. Now, I just mentioned in that last analyst report a metric relating enterprise value to the number of ounces of gold in the ground. So I thought this slide was really important to put in here. This really talks about some of the resources and balance sheet behind GoldMining Incorporated. So here you can see the millions of ounces that GoldMining Incorporated has between their various assets. So up top you can see 16.2 million ounces, that's what MOZ means, identified as M&I resource. And M&I resource means measured mineral resources. So these are confirmed ounces of gold in the ground at the various assets. In addition to that, they've also got 16.2 million ounces in terms of inferred resource. So if you combine those together, you're getting about 32 million ounces of gold between the various assets or properties under GoldMining Incorporated's portfolio. And again, if you start to think about that on a per ounce basis, you guys, $235 million market cap, about 122 million of that is actually equity in the Gold Royalty Corporation or GROY, meaning you're actually getting about 32 million ounces of gold in the ground for roughly $112 million. And if you do the math on that, that means you're paying about $3.50 per ounce of gold that's in the ground, compared to the industry average or standard of about $50 per ounce in terms of in the ground gold. Not to mention the overall volume here, so 32 million ounces is an extremely large number and is beyond rare in this industry. They really have assembled a world-class portfolio of assets, and those are really some of the best-in-class numbers in terms of junior mining companies. Now, as you can see, again, they call out that investment or 15% ownership in Gold Royalty Corporation or GROY. They've got $130 million in cash and equity holdings. So again, over $100 million of that is invested into GROI shares. They've also got a $20 million US BMO facility line of credit and cash on the balance sheet. So you really are getting a very attractive package here, and overall extremely strong financial position or platform. And the fourth point here is really around the growth profile of the company. Dual-pronged approach, so they're really focused on advancing their existing portfolio or existing assets under the GoldMining Inc. portfolio, including pursuing partnerships and joint ventures. They're continuing to evaluate accretive acquisition opportunities, so look for new M&A type of activity, which we're going to talk about in a second here, and evaluating spinouts and disposition opportunities, one of which includes their uranium project. So in essence, the oversimplified business model here, you guys, behind GoldMining Incorporated is to go out and find gold assets, buy low and sell high. And speaking of those assets, here you can really see that diverse portfolio of projects spread across North and South America. And these really range all the way from Whistler, Alaska, all the way down to Brazil in South America. And here again, you can see the breakdown in terms of millions of ounces of the various commodities, so gold, silver, copper, the measured and indicated along with the inferred, so 16.2 plus 16.2, that's where you get that 32 million ounces of gold equivalent. And as you can see, the vast majority of their commodity exposure is to gold itself. Now, I mentioned a couple of seconds ago, the goal with this company is really to identify undervalued assets, acquire these assets, and then really create value for investors. And this is really one of the top strengths, in my opinion, of Amir Adnani. He's a shark when it comes to negotiation and finding deals in the market. So this slide here is very important to understand here, you guys. So this is the total market cap at its peak, so between 2010 and 2012, of the various different assets or companies that GoldMining Incorporated has purchased. So as you can see, they range from Sailfish Royalty Corp to Kiska, Sunward, and Brazilian Gold. So they've made a ton of acquisitions. They're very familiar with M&A activity, and combined, their total market cap represents about $850 million back in 2010 to 2012. Now, in terms of what GoldMining Incorporated has actually paid for these acquisitions, that came in at $81 million. So if you do the math on that, Amir and his team were actually able to acquire these companies for less than 10% of what they were trading at in terms of their bull market valuations. So that really speaks again to the experience and the negotiation skills that Amir and the rest of the team at GoldMining Incorporated really have. Now, based on that, you can see GoldMining Incorporated, the current market value, about $125 million of that is enterprise value. About $130 million is tied up with that gold royalty, the 20 million shares or the 15% ownership. Now, again, these numbers have changed slightly here, you guys, but that gives a pretty good rough estimation of the company's split. And the delta here, or the difference between the $850 million total peak market cap and the current market cap of GoldMining Incorporated, which again is sitting in the range of about $235, $240 million. This is really where the value is going to be created for investors in this company. So again, the team here went out and found very attractive and lucrative assets. They then waited, purchased these assets at a significant discount, and now the opportunity, or my bullish thesis behind GoldMining Incorporated, is really the delta or the difference in these two valuations. And that's why I say my top two reasons for investing in this company are the leadership team and the experience they bring, and the valuation of the company compared to the underlying assets and compared to competitors in this space. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time in today's video on the specific details of the various assets within GoldMining Inc.'s portfolio, but they are all included in the investor presentation. So one of the main ones here is Whistler, Alaska, obviously based in the United States. And if you go into the investor presentation, you can actually see very detailed analysis, maps, and test results from all of these various locations or assets. So again, I would highly encourage you to go in here, take a look, and compare some of these numbers to competitors in this space, because they really are quite impressive here, you guys. Whether you're talking about North American results or down in South America here, you can see we start talking about Colombia as well. the results really do speak for themselves, especially if you have experience in the mining industry. Now, in addition to all of the various gold-focused assets, the wildcard with this company really is this uranium deposit in Saskatchewan, Canada here, based in the Western Athabasca Basin. So this is one of those properties that they may look to spin out or off-sell down the road. But again, remember, Amir Adnani has experience in the uranium industry, and this again is really the X factor for this company, or the cherry on top of all of the other points we talked about in today's presentation. So to wrap things up here, you guys, or summarize my bullish thesis on GoldMining Incorporated, my big 2 points here again are leadership and valuation. This is an undervalued growth vehicle with extensive resources throughout the Americas. They have one of the largest portfolios of gold and gold copper resources of any junior explorer developer company. The experienced management and technical team, so in my opinion, this should probably be bullet number 1. They've created a tremendous amount of value based on the IPO of Gold Royalty Corporation, which again, they own 15% stake in. They've got that strong balance sheet, which we talked about, enhanced by that $20 million US BMO credit facility. They're being very selective with the projects that they're actually developing and advancing. They've got opportunities for partners to advance their non-core properties. So again, the non-gold focused properties like the uranium one we just talked about in the Athabasca Basin. They've got the ability to replicate the successful IPO they saw behind Gold Royalty or GROY. And the final point here is really that ratio in terms of one of the lowest enterprise values to ounces in the ground evaluations of anyone in the industry. So with that being said, I definitely think GoldMining Incorporated deserves a second look here, you guys. If you're looking for exposure to precious metals, I think this one definitely is top of the list or top of mind for me personally. Now, for full disclosure, I currently do not hold any shares in GoldMining Incorporated, but this is definitely one that I've put on my watch list. And as mentioned in the intro, I'm really trying to expand the number of companies I talk about on the channel, the sectors that we look at, and correspondingly the positions I hold in my account. So this one is really interesting. It's super unique. And again, really exciting when you start to think about the various different tailwinds the company has going for them. Now, another great way to get updates here is to go on to GLDGnews.com, put in your email, and they'll actually send you updates and news releases about this company as they become public, so you can stay up to date if you're looking to make an investment in GoldMining Incorporated. Now, with that being said, you guys, I will leave links to the investor relations page and the supporting articles in the video description below. I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts on this company, if you're currently holding shares, and how you think my bullish analysis stacks up to some of the other competitors in this space. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button on your way out. That's all for now. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.